All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the Doxa Sub 600T. Big thanks to Tyler and the entire crew at Exquisite Timepieces, Naples, Florida. If you're looking for a Doxa, you go to Exquisite. That's it. They're an authorized dealer for over 60 brands, Doxa being one of them. Super happy that they picked that up. I actually bought a Sub 300T. That's mine over here on the left. Looking at the 600. It's pretty cool. And there's some other options with this one that are pretty cool as well. But I'll put a link down below to Exquisite Timepieces. If you've already shopped there, then you already know that you're going to go there again. If you are looking to find a good, reputable, authorized dealer, then Exquisite Timepieces is the place to go. I've bought many watches there, and you can go back and read all the videos I've done with in association with Exquisite Timepieces, and go down and look at the comments. It's just praises all the way through. Okay, so that's why I like to work with them. I've been with them. They've been with me even before the channel. So yeah, I fully support them because they support me, and vice versa, whatever. So Doxa Sub 600T orange dial. Of course, there are other color options when you're dealing with Doxa. They're all different names. The orange is called the Professional, as you can see on the dial. This one has the metal bezel insert. So you can also select a ceramic bezel insert, which is a departure from the traditional look of a Doxa like this, but these, definitely the sub 300s and that style, are, if you've owned one, like that polished part on the top is prone to scratching. This one doesn't have it as bad because it's more of a matte finish, so it's not going to be such a big deal. But if you are prone to getting that scratched up there, then I would say just opt for the ceramic one. That's an option, and it really changes the look of the watch. I like both of them. I'd be indifferent on that one. With the black handset like that, I think the black ceramic insert works really well. So that's definitely a solid option. Let's get into the size of this watch, which I typically start with now that we're 2.5 minutes in. We're going to do it now. So case width, 40 millimeter, a little bit, smaller width-wise than some of the traditional Doxa cases. The lug-to-lug is a 47.8 millimeter. You can see the case shape there. Pretty interesting. If you do it on bracelet, you do have that center link coming off. The solid end link is a male piece. So it does kind of extend the lug-to-lug a little bit, but it is definitely on a downward fashion. So it's not really going to be such a big factor, but that's 52.75 millimeter. And then thickness, 14.8. Yep, it's a little bit thick, but it is a 600 meter water depth rated watch. So, 14.8, it's not a deal breaker for most people. 20 millimeter lug width. This bracelet is awesome. It's super comfortable, but it does not taper. It is 20 millimeter all the way down. And then, of course, you have the stamped clasp for micro adjust. It's milled in the center part, but the outer part's stamped. And then you have a dive extension on there as well. So you can also outfit this if you're not a bracelet guy. You don't want to wear the bracelet. Just get it on the FKM rubber. I forget, the price is all really close. It's within like $100 and whatever something dollars. This one's $1,590 as configured. So like I said, they vary depending on how you outfit it, whether it's ceramic or the FKM rubber or the metal bracelet. But like I said, if you're not a bracelet guy, the FKM rubber that Doxa does is awesome. It's a good strap. Let's see, closer look at the dial. Of course, we have the shark teeth at the cardinal positions minus the 3 o'clock because that's reserved for the date cutout. You have that black framed handset that is super legible against the contrast of that orange Professional dial. We're going to have a decent amount of Loom on this. The dual scale on the outside is done in feet. And then, of course, you have your dive timer. You have a 120 click bezel. Plenty of traction on that. You can see they're actually even angled slightly. So nice solid bezel. And of course it lines up, which is better at this point. You have an offset crown at the 4 o'clock position signed with the Jenny logo. That is a 6.3 millimeter crown. It's plenty easy enough to get at, even though it does have a little bit of built-in kind of crown guard as well there. It just kind of flares out here and then there, but you can still access it no problem. if we pop this on my 7 1/4 inch wrist, you'll see that it wears great. It doesn't have that, you know, cushion case style case that the other Doxas have, and it is kind of heavy, like a top heavy feel to it. You definitely want to size it correctly so it doesn't try to rotate on you, but it is a very striking, good looking watch. Definitely a candidate of my 2024 all orange dial quest that I'm doing. This is definitely on the list because it's, as far as, you know, quality tool watch / entry luxury watch, mid-tier, whatever you want to call it, the $1,500, $1,600 price point is definitely kind of comfortable for most people. If you just don't buy, you know, a bunch of, you know, $300, $400, $500 watches, instead reserve that budget for one of these instead, you might be a little happier. It's hard to say. Everyone's going to be different on that, but it would coexist. That's where I like Doxa, because their cases are so dramatically different that I could own the 300, the 600, and then I could probably even own the 200 with that really deep lyre lug case that I like. I could own all three of them, and they're dramatically different from one another, so they would definitely coexist. You know, it's not just the case. You know, the hands are different, the dial's different, everything's different on it. So I really like that about Doxa. And I coined that phrase. And if you get one of these, you could be part of the Doxa Bro Club, which is kind of silly, but, you know, we're playing around. We're having some fun. We should always have fun when we're playing around with hobbies. So Loom shot time. Again, big thanks to Exquisite Timepieces, authorized dealer for Doxa, and so many more. You know, and they got the full range, so you can get your Seiko 5 there for a few $100s, all the way up to, if you have the budget, they have watches to help you spend it into the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and everything in between. Exquisite Timepieces is the place to go. I'll see you guys on the next vid.